4 days of rain now and heavy flooding in southwest and central Texas. It's now claimed the lives of at least 2 people, and the flood threat, it is not over just yet. Welcome in at 10 o'clock, everyone. I'm Ken Molestina. Doug's off tonight. Governor Greg Abbott warning the catastrophic flood remains a major threat overnight. He says the Nueces River near Uvalde is forecast to reach record levels, with flow estimated at 2 times the flow of Niagara Falls, he says. The storm moves into more southwestern Texas tomorrow. All of this is coming as life on the Guadalupe River had just returned to normal for some after their homes were washed away from last year's floods. Well, now those who've been hit a second time are questioning whether it's worth it to rebuild again. Our JD Miles joining us live now from Kerrville after meeting a homeowner who now faces that nightmare. JD, folks out there I'm assuming, are just fatigued with it all.
Ken, imagine having your home flooded by the Guadalupe River last summer and being told it's a once in a 500-year flood. You rebuild with FEMA approval, and today of all days, your contractor is scheduled to come back over and put the last finishing touches on that rebuild. That's exactly what happened to Kara Doctor when a 4 a.m. knock at the door this morning changed everything. The Guadalupe River was raging just a few hundred yards from where Kara Doctor was sound asleep early this morning.
Went to sleep, went to bed last night, saw red and blue flashing lights this morning, told us the river's coming, we gotta get out, you gotta get out now.
Doctor's 2-story home in Center Point near Kerrville flooded on July 4th last year. After more than a year of water remediation and other repairs, her fireplace was the only thing left to finish.
The only thing left was my fireplace to finish out. He was going to come up and finish that out. And so I texted him this morning and said, don't bother.
Kara returned from her brief evacuation to this. Now the sound of high-speed fans has returned, along with the mud and the misery.
When we came down, opened up the doors and saw that the water had gotten in about 2.5 feet inside.
Kara Doctor is experiencing the worst kind of deja vu.
I mean, I could sit here and cry, and I have for most of the day, but we gotta keep on, you know.
Doctor's parents and brother live in nearby homes on generations of family property that was once idyllic.
It's my dream house. It's supposed to be my forever home.
Brand new furniture and furnishings may not be salvageable. A new deck on the river has washed away, and Doctor is looking at another year away from home if she rebuilds. But rebuilding trust in the river is something she says she may never be able to do. Is it worth it to try to rebuild again?
Man, I don't know. It's traumatic, to say the least. No matter how beautiful it is on some of those calm days, I still will have this in the back of my head, sadly.
Now, Doctor says she's going to take some time before deciding what to do, but it's safe to say that the Guadalupe River is losing its luster to some people who adore its beauty and live along it. Live in Kerrville tonight, JD Miles, CBS News, Texas.
That's a hard reality for them. Our hearts break for everyone out there. JD, thank you very much. We appreciate that. The historic flooding has also revealed some incredible video of first responders making rescues across the entire Hill Country region. Our Amelia Magavro has been collecting those moments and other views of how expansive the flooding is. She's joining us live now with that story. Amelia.
You almost have to do a double take because some of this flood video looks eerily similar to what we saw over the 4th of July last year. And while 2 people have died in this deadly storm, many lives have been saved at this point. The mayor of Kerrville even says that's largely thanks to the new advanced warning systems that gave people more time to get to safety.
We were blessed in Kerr County with warnings, and I'm thankful that those warnings saved lives. Having to be in front of you again so soon after last year's flood is hard.
And also this Facebook video shows just how fast the water rose in Kerrville, flooding a roadway in a matter of minutes. And it's all happening, as you can see, in the middle of the nighttime when darkness and low visibility make an already dangerous situation even worse. And then take a look at this. TxDOT also showing just how quickly conditions can change on Texas highways. This is near the town of Stonewall. And as you can see, just hours earlier, the road was completely clear. And then after all of that heavy rain moved through, floodwaters took over, making the road impassable. And tonight, this and many other roads across the flood zones remain closed. And then videos keep coming in showing just how widespread those powerful floodwaters have been all in these last couple days. And this video from Texas game wardens captures the devastation from both the air and the water during rescue missions in Uvalde County. Then amid all of this destruction, there have also been incredible acts of bravery. This video showing a Texas DPS helicopter crew lowering a rescuer to a family trapped by rising floodwater in Uvalde, including a young girl and even their pets. And I'm pleased to say that every single one of them was brought to safety. And today I also spoke with several people and friends who I know out there, and they all told me that even though they had plenty of warning before the storm, there was absolutely no way to avoid the destruction. And so many said they are still dealing with PTSD from last year's flooding. And so, Ken, this storm has brought all of that trauma right back, and the recovery ahead won't just be physical at this point. It's going to take a long time for them to heal emotionally too.
We're thinking of them, Amelia. We're praying for them and obviously following this story and doing everything we can to inform folks of what's going on over there. Thank you very much. We appreciate that live report. You know, over the past year, we have talked a whole lot about the push for a layered flood warning system. We've learned emergency push alerts to cell phones aren't always effective. Many people turn them off, and in parts of the hill country, cell service there can be spotty at best. Well, that's why officials want more layers of warning. And as our I-Team's Brian New reports just this week, they were put to the test.
When floodwaters rush downstream, this time, there were more warnings. At 3:30 Thursday morning, 6 newly installed private flood sirens went off near Ingram, alerting nearby campers to evacuate. The sirens had been strategically placed between the river and the sleeping quarters. That way, the water would trigger the sensors first. But by being so close to the river, 3 of those sirens were damaged by floodwaters. In a Facebook post, the siren company wrote, "This is okay. It accomplished its purpose." Just 2 months ago, 6 additional state-funded sirens were installed along the Guadalupe River in Kerr County. Those were also activated and worked, with what Governor Greg Abbott called one small caveat.
Sometime before 4 a.m. this morning, there was a triggering of the siren that did not go off immediately, but it was triggered again 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, and it did go off at that time. So for all practical purposes, the functionality of the sirens worked just fine.
After last year's deadly floods, Texas lawmakers set aside $50 million for flood sirens. And while the newest sirens in Kerr County are already operating, many other Hill Country counties are still waiting for theirs. 29 counties have been approved for funding, but are still in the process of planning and installing sirens. In the past year, the state has also expanded its network of river sensors and gauges along the Guadalupe River. Recently, officials launched a public website called River Hub, where people can see in real time river levels and hopefully see the danger coming.
That was Brian New reporting here locally. Organizations and volunteers are already stepping up to help. In Weatherford, Operation Texas Strong says it knows what families are going through. As our Aaron Jones shows us, they're already getting critical supplies into the hands of flood survivors.
When Bobby Krutzinger learned about the latest flooding in the Texas Hill Country, his mind immediately went back to last year's devastating July 4th floods.
Not just one time they lost everything, now it's going back through the second thing again.
After helping families recover from last year's disaster through his nonprofit Operation Texas Strong, Krutzinger is once again collecting donations for flood survivors. They're asking for bottled water, non-perishable foods, clothing, medical supplies, and other recovery essentials. Donations can be dropped off in Weatherford.
It takes everyone working together to get stuff done. We need more people to help, and we can get it transported if people could donate.
Right now, one of the group's volunteers is already in the Kerrville area delivering supplies and meals to families in need. These photos were taken this morning in Center Point, Ingram, and Kerrville.
Yeah, she's been encountering people all day long to make sure people have meals. Just think about if you were in that situation and you had nobody to come and help you, how would it feel to you when somebody walked by and say, "Hey, I got some clean clothes for you," and you'd be like, "Oh, thank God."
With more donations coming in, Operation Texas Strong expects to send a second shipment to the Texas Hill Country on Saturday, delivering not just supplies, but hope to families starting over. In Weatherford, Aaron Jones, CBS News, Texas.
All right, Chief Meteorologist McKenna King joining us now. So I guess the big question now is there any chance for relief for these folks
Right,
tomorrow?
and there finally is some on the way.
Good.
They're still left with some scattered shower activity this evening, but the worst of it really is over. Spots like Kerrville, though, still picking up some rain this evening. So, of course, anything that you're picking up on top of that can really be catastrophic for these areas. We're talking about Flash Flood Alley. It's something we talked a lot about just about a year and a couple of weeks ago. The stretches from the Dallas-Fort Worth area into Waco, down into Austin, San Marcos, toward Uvalde, and also spots like Kerrville. You're talking about areas that are very hilly, so you're dealing with some steep terrain. So how can just a couple of feet of rain cause a river to rise 25 to 30 feet? Here's what we're talking. Not only those steep hills that are funneling that water downhill, but this is also thin soil, a very thin layer of soil. And below that thin layer of soil is thick limestone, which of course cannot soak in that water. So it saturates the soil quickly, and then all of that quickly runs off into the Guadalupe River and also the Pecos River. You're also talking about the Dry Frio River, spots down to the south and to the west. Those water levels rise within minutes, not hours, so it is very quick. Some of those highest rain totals from today: the Dry Frio River near Uvalde, 27.22 inches. Right near Uvalde, we were looking at 25 3/4 of an inch. Spots like Bernie, 15.95. And again, a few leftover scattered showers at this point this evening. There's that stalled frontal boundary that we're watching in those areas. And you'll notice Kerrville, spots like that are still picking up some significant rainfall. So that'll be something to watch as we do get through the next couple of hours. But fortunately, that shower activity is going to taper. Some relief is on the way into tomorrow, Ken.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, McKenna.